Hey everyone, it's Fideliz here, founder of Kingdom Woman Entrepreneurs Academy, for another training for you guys. I'm so excited to unpack this one. This one is called Building Your Personal Brand. It's a special one for me because, as some of you know, my very first year in business, I launched a personal styling business, where I helped women dress according to their body shape and with their skin color, and how they can present themselves when they meet people for the first time, whether they're going on an interview or a networking event, or maybe they're presenting for work and not knowing what to wear and how to show up for their business and represent their business in that way. And so it's quite close to my heart, this topic, building your personal brand, because I feel that it's very much linked to personal styling. You know, we represent our brand, we represent our business every time we go out there and engage with people. And so this is going to be a very interesting topic, and so I can't wait to unpack this with you guys and share some of my insights and things that I've maybe gone through in the past as well, and some tips for you with the do's and the don'ts as well. So some of the things we will be learning today, let me just make this bigger for you. Some things we will be learning together would be, what is a personal brand and why do you need to have one? Number 2, strategies for a strong personal brand. And 3, the don'ts of personal branding. So let's get into the training and start with that first question. What is personal branding and why do you need to have one? So personal branding, have you guys heard of this term? Personal branding is the practice of marketing oneself and their career as a brand. It involves strategically creating and managing your public persona to project an image that reflects your unique skills, experiences, values, and personality. The goal of personal branding is to establish a reputation and identity that sets you apart from others in your field and positions you as an expert or thought leader. So this is so important because, just like personal styling, as I mentioned, when we meet people for the very first time, I know it's sad reality, but it is reality. We live in this world that people do judge you in the very first 30 seconds that they meet you. So it's important that we have that very good first impression, right? And then, of course, as we meet people, they get to know us and they get to learn more about us, and we build connection, we build loyalty through that connection with them. So it all starts with the first impressions, though. It doesn't just start with, obviously you meet someone for the first time and you want to show them that you have the same values, so you do have the same interest, and obviously also visually appealing as well. And so this links to personal branding as well. So not only do we want to represent through the way that we engage and connect with people, but also with our brand as well. Like how does that look like? What does that look like when we show up as our brand? So personal branding is so important for business. Again, it's the first impression of your brand, and it is what gets them to start to be curious about knowing you more, learning more about the brand and what it's all about. So it's all about that, first impression. So why do we need it though? So why do we need to show up and be consistent in the way that we're representing our business? Number 1, it gives us differentiation. So it causes us to stand out from the competition. So there's a lot of people doing the same things these days. Like, there's a lot of people doing coaching these days. There's a lot of people doing artwork these days. There's different industries, and in those different industries, there are people doing similar stuff, could be offering the very same product, the very same services. But what what makes you different. It's important that you have that personal brand, because this is what makes you different and stand out from everyone else. So that's why you need your own personal brand. Number two, when we do have that personal brand, it builds trust and credibility. When people see that you are consistent in the way that you show up for your business, whether that be consistent in adding value, showing up and, seeing your clients and maybe adding value in different communities, this actually builds trust. That, and also your branding, when it comes to the visual aspect of it, when they see that you're showing up, adding value, but also that they can see that all of the graphics are the same, the photos are the same, it's got the same feel, it's got the same color scheme, it's got the same fonts, because it builds that consistency. It builds that credibility and the trust that, wow, this person knows what they're doing. They look professional, they're not changing their branding every single time. It is very consistent. So that builds trust and credibility. People are tend to, when they see that, even put yourself from a consumer point of view, when you do see a brand that is consistent in showing up, and also their brand in terms of visual aspect, where all the colors and all the the visual logos and prints and things like that all look the same, you build a trust, right? You feel like, oh, I know what's to happen next. It builds that familiarity with that brand, hence building trust and credibility. So those two, I think, is already top of the list, why you need to have a personal brand. But there's a few more here. The third one is it creates emotional connection and loyalty. Again, when they see you all the time, they start to be familiar with you, your brand, and they know what to expect. So it builds that emotional connection, especially if you're always showing up, but also showing up authentically and being yourself. They start to be connected to you and want to work with you, and that builds loyalty as well. Visibility, again, we're talking about, it's easy for them to find you now online, because when they see a graphic or they see a post that you create that is, that resonates with them, and it increases the search. It's very easy for them to find you. It pops out from all the other adverts out there, or any other post out there, because they know, that post looks familiar. I know that's Fideliz's post. I see some pinks and beautiful peach colors and so feminine. That's definitely Fideliz's post, something like that. So increases search, very easy for people to visibly find you online as well. And also builds consistency and clarity in your messaging. If you are sharing your story, you're authentic and genuine about, sharing your behind the scenes and things like that, it builds consistency and clarity in what it is that you stand for, especially, sharing your vision and your mission, why you created this business in the first place, and telling your story is so important. So it gives consistency and clarity. And the last one, it attracts collaborations and sustainable success. So of course, as you show up for your business, a lot of people are starting to see you, they're being familiar with what you're doing. It starts to build trust, credibility, loyalty, and very easy to spot you now. So this kind of helps you with attracting collaborations and opportunities for you, building sustainable success, because they know that you're consistent with showing up, and that you are trusted. You can be trusted with that, and as well as attracting those collaborations. People are attracted to you because they can see the value that you offer, and perhaps they think, wow, like, look, we've got the same values here, we've got the same beliefs here, and I want to work with a person like that. So these are just some of the the reasons why you need to have a personal brand. All right. So what does the statistics say about this though? There are a lot of great statistics online, but here's five that I picked out for us. So according to the 2020 Edelman Trust Barometer, 71% of Australians said that trust in a company's CEO is critical for their trust in that company. This highlights the importance of a strong personal brand for business leaders. How interesting is that? They trust the company based on how much they trust the CEO. So they do look into, the person behind the brand, the person behind the company. So even as you are, you've got a product that even if you're, someone creating, maybe a journal or a product or, skincare, whatever it is, it could be apparel. They do look at the person creating that. And it's not just about the product, it's the person behind the product too. So that's really interesting. The second one I've got here is a 2021 survey by Yellow Social Media Report found that 64% of Australians follow influencers and personal brands on social media. This shows the significant impact personal branding can have through social media presence. So, a lot of people are out there with social media now. 64% of Australians are following social media personalities and influencers. So what does this show us? The popularity has gone up, right? In terms of people seeking to connect with people. People want to do business with people. It's not people wanting to do business with a big company. They really want to connect. And I feel like there's such hunger for that. So that's really important to know. The third one is research by Roy Morgan in 2020 indicated that 90% of Australians are influenced by online reviews and recommendations, often driven by personal brands when making purchasing decisions. So reviews, recommendations, they play a big part in your personal branding. These are people that are, cheering you on, recommending you, and writing reviews for you. And, people are, 90% of Australians are usually influenced by that. They would go and check out your reviews first before they want to work with you. So that's interesting there as well. The LinkedIn Global Talent Trends report in 2020 noted that 92% of Australians trust recommendations from individuals, even if they don't know them, over brands. That's so good. Employees with strong personal brands can significantly influence and attract top talent. So, that speaks for itself there. 92%. They trust recommendations from individuals. So it is very much trusted. And then the last one, a study by the Australian Institute of Management in 2021 found that 86% of professionals believe that a strong personal brand can create more networking opportunities and lead to business growth. So true. So part of personal branding is showing up in these networking events, community events, right? So that is also needed. 86% believe that a strong personal brand can create more networking. So it's all good. Like all these statistics, I hope is already given you that yes, this is something that I especially need for my business today. And so let's have a look at the biblical perspective of this now. If that has encouraged you with those statistics, I believe this is going to encourage you even more in pursuing that personal branding for your business. Here's a couple of scriptures I wanted to share with you. Matthew 5:16. We all know this one, and something I always share in the academy. Let your light shine before others that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. So, perhaps you're someone that's like, Fids, I just want to stay in the background. I don't really want to be showing up. And I just want to constantly share about my products, my services. And that is it. I'm happy to just stay behind this laptop and do the work quietly back here. But that's the thing, guys. People, as I said, want to do business with people. They want to know the person behind the brand. And of course, biblically, God encourages us to shine our light before others. And obviously, we shine because we want to give our Father glory. And that's what it is. It says that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. At the end of the day, it is to glorify God. And when we show up, and when we are serving and loving on people through our business, that actually glorifies God. So I hope that that will motivate you and encourage you to step out in faith. And remember that, when you do show up, we need to switch our mindset to a kingdom mindset that, yes, you might feel a bit shy, might feel like a bit awkward if this is something that's new to you. But let's switch that perspective that this is the way we can actually, one of the ways that we can worship God, by showing up and serving others, and not be so focused on me, myself, and I, but actually, how can I serve others? And we're actually doing them a disservice if we're not showing up. People cannot see the person that's behind the product, and they want to connect, right? And so you want to be salt and light. So that's Matthew 5:16. The next one is in Proverbs 22:1. And I love this one as well. This one says, a good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. So this talks about, for me, it speaks all about reputation and having a good name. And I don't know, one of those, I think many years ago, when I hear the word reputation, I feel like, oh, it's one of those icky things where, oh, you have to build your reputation. Like, can't you just, do you have to do that? That, I don't know. It just feels so icky, right? Like building have a reputation kind of thing. But actually, it's biblical. It says a good name is more desirable than great riches. So it's actually meaning to say that, your name, when someone hears your name, they need to be reminded of, oh, I know her. She's amazing. She, is generous. She gives glory to God. She has created a lot of things for God, or she gives back to community. So when they hear your name, it needs to be a good name, it's desirable. It says it's more desirable than great riches, because when you do, there's an influence. There is an influence when you have a good reputation. There's a way that you could lead people and have more influence and have more impact in your community. So that's really important. So, take some time to unpack these scriptures and ask God for a revelation for these scriptures for you. And I want to encourage you, I hope that this will really motivate you to show up for your business. A strong personal brand is akin to having a good reputation. It highlights the value of integrity and character over material wealth, emphasizing the importance of maintaining a good name through righteous living. So, hey, this is what we've been called to do, salt and light of the world, right? So that's what we want. We want to have that really good personal branding, or in this case, in this perspective, we're talking about that reputation for yourself, for your business, because you are representing his kingdom. So there you go. Okay, so on part 2 now, we're talking about strategies for a strong personal brand. What are some of the ways you can, action steps or ways that you can start to build on your personal brand? Building a strong personal brand requires intentionality, consistency, and authenticity. Here are some strategies to help you develop and maintain a robust personal brand. So number 1, define your UVP. So we talk about this a lot in the academy, in the Kingdom Women Entrepreneurs Academy, UVP, and align your brand with your values. So define your unique value proposition, UVP. Identify your strengths and skills and understand what makes you unique and how you can provide value to others. So when we define this, when we have a clear idea of what it is, what is our unique value proposition, what is that one thing that you're offering that is so unique that no one else can offer or offers, what is that? We need to define that. We need to be clear on that, and we need to communicate that and even educate our audience with what we have to offer. Right. So when we do that, that is part of your personal brand. That's what causes you to stand out from the crowd. So that is so important. I would say start with this one. Define your UVP. What is that one thing, that unique value proposition that you can offer others? Next to that is clarify your purpose. Why is it that you do what you do? Determine your mission, how you're going to do it, and what you want to be known for in your field. So even in those 2 points are just an example of defining my value proposition. So for me, one of the unique things that I offer is that I'm a Christian life and business mentor. So there are a lot of business mentors out there, lots of life coaches out there. But what sets me apart is that I am a Christian life and business mentor. I infuse faith in every aspect of my business, and I am open and bold in sharing that, and I'm unashamed in sharing that I'm a Christian business coach. So I feel like that is one of my unique value proposition, and I am able to coach my clients to build their business God's way. God's way. So that is my UVP. What is yours? I'd love to find out more about you. Please let me know. Maybe put it in your journal, and as you're watching this training, maybe jot down what is your unique value proposition, and then clarify your purpose. Why are you there? Why does your business exist? What is the purpose of it? What is your mission? I hope that you will pop this into your journal as well. Right, for me, an example of that is that, many years ago when I launched my business, the first couple of years, I was so hungry for someone to just sow into my life, sow into my business. And I went and asked so many leaders that I looked up to for coaching and for, guidance in starting a business. But unfortunately, I did not get that. And I actually got a lot of rejection upon rejection upon rejection. I was so hurt. But God used that pain to help me realize that I could be the solution to that problem. And so that is my purpose. I want to be the best coach that I can be to my clients so that no one else can feel how I felt during that time. That is my ultimate purpose. My purpose is to see women rise up in leadership in all aspects of their lives, using their gifts and their talents to glorify God. So that is my clear purpose and mission here. So I wonder, what is yours? So those two already will help you build a strong personal brand, having an understanding and a clear view of what that is. The third one is be authentic and ensure your personal brand reflects your true self and core values. I've always made sure that I am open to sharing my behind the scenes and, my struggles, my challenges. Of course, I'm not sharing everything online, but things that people could be inspired by, parts of my story or parts of the things I've done in the past, or my struggles. I try to share that in a way that it will inspire others. So, be authentic in that way, be genuine in that way, and ensuring, it's you're sharing those stories, but as you do, it actually shares your true self and your core values as well. And this helps people connect with you more. All right, so that's the third one. And then the fourth one is demonstrate integrity. Act consistently with your values in all professional and personal interactions. So I love this because it combines your personal interactions as well as your professional. So whatever they see online, whatever people do see online, it has to match what you do in person. It has to match what you do in real life, right? So that's what integrity is. It's acting consistently, even what you say, what you promise to achieve or what you want to do, you want to be accountable to that, to what you have said, and act on that. So that shows integrity. And when you do that, of course, what does that do? It builds trust. It builds credibility. It builds loyalty, because people can see that you do what you say you would do, that they can truly trust you in this area. So these are some of the ways right? Which is number one, only define your UVP and align your brand with your values. Just a few things there already. But I would get you to start with that one if you want to build a strong personal brand. All right, there's more. Let's keep going. Number two, craft a clear and compelling brand message. So develop your elevator pitch. We spoke about this in other training. So create a concise statement that summarizes who you are, what you do, and why it matters. When you have this, it's very easy to share that, personal, it's part of your personal brand because you're sharing what it is that you do in such a concise statement. So make sure you develop that and ensure consistency. Align your messaging across all platforms and communications to reinforce your brand identity. So how you do this is by, again, making sure that visually you're showing up, in terms of the branding, the colors, the fonts, whatever you do, whatever you do for your brand. So, think about aligning those messaging all across. It could be, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, whatever platforms you have. Make sure that it is all uniformed and that they can see a clear brand identity on all across those platforms. All right. And then share your unique story and how this has played a part in your business journey. So, as I said, that story that I just shared before, in terms of looking for coaches, looking for someone to mentor me, and then I was rejected. It actually got me into where I am now. That is one of my key stories that I share, because that played a big part in growing my business. So. Share your unique story. Do you have a story to share? I'm sure you do. Make sure you pop that into your journal as well, because this will help you build your strong personal brand. Okay, the third one is create a consistent visual identity and strong online presence. So design your brand elements. So you can work with a graphic designer with this. Mine kind of evolved since I started many years ago, nearly a decade now, right? So you would see if you scroll down through my socials that there has been a significant amount of changes in between that, because you evolve, you change over time, your business changes, you change as a person, and it'll always change. So don't what I would say with that is don't think about it too much, in a sense that don't feel like it has to be perfect for you to use it, because it will always evolve. But you do need to choose a logo, colors, fonts, and other visual elements that represent your brand. Stick with that, be consistent with that until such time you feel like it's time to refresh and grow from that. Okay, but you do have to have a consistent one. And then you need to maintain uniformity. So it needs to be uniform, as I mentioned. All the visual elements, all of your things that you're creating needs to be uniformed all across all your digital and physical materials. And you can probably see that with KWE, with all the orange, the fonts, the peach colors. So same with you. Have a think about that. Are you showing up consistently with those brand elements in your all of your social media? Leverage social media. Use platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook to share your expertise, engage with your audience, and create a professional website. Develop a website that showcases your portfolio, testimonials, and contact information. So I hope that you're seeing something here. Not just personal branding is not just that one thing. It has so many components to it, but they all play together to build that one persona, that one strong personal brand. So it's coming from what you're wearing, what you look like, how you're approaching people, how you're treating people, how are you showing up and engaging with people, how you're adding value, all the platforms that you're in, making sure that they are all consistent. That actually builds your personal brand. It's not just that one thing. It's a holistic view of how people see you, right? It's that persona. Fourth one, I think this is the last one, is produce valuable content and network. There's no point showing up all the time and you're telling stories and this is what I'm doing today, this is what I had for lunch today. That's great, but we need to make sure that when we do share, we put effort in adding value with our content. So, you want to showcase your skills, your talents, things that challenges that you can solve. Or perhaps, if we're talking about products, if you have a product, you want to get those reviews, your testimonials, but also educating them on the ingredients, perhaps, of the things that you've created. Maybe it's a hand cream, or you want to educate them on what's in there. You want to give them valuable content, right? So start a blog or vlog, share insights, tips, and stories related to your field, related to your product, related to the services that you offer. That's what you want to do. Publish articles and ebooks, provide an in-depth knowledge and showcase your expertise. Just some of the ways you could do that. Participate in podcasts, webinars, offer your insights as a guest speaker, or host your own sessions. Early stages of my business, I was not invited to many of these podcasts and webinars, and there are a few that I did attend and I was part of. But you could create your own opportunities sometimes, right? So create those valuable content for your audience, and because you know them well, you'll know exactly what they need, their challenges, and you want to offer solutions for them. Attend industry events, participate in conferences, seminars, networking events to connect with like-minded professionals. Engage with your community, join professional groups and online forums related to your industry. So like what you're doing now with KWE, you're part of this community. This is a great way to build your personal brand, because people can see what you're doing. You're engaging with them, and you're not just a company, you're not just a business. They will understand and start to have a really good idea of who you are and what you stand for, your values, and why you do what you do. And people are more connected to that. That's a strong personal brand right there. So I hope that has helped. So those 4 things, let me just go back for you. Number 1, define your UVP and align your brand with your values. Number 2, craft a clear and compelling brand message. Number 3, create a consistent visual identity and strong online presence. And number 4, produce valuable content and network. All right, so cool. Before I go into the don'ts, just a reminder, as I said, it's not just your online presence, but also the way you engage and interact with people, how you share your story, how you show up in that way when you add value. But as I said, when I first started this training, I mentioned that I did personal styling, and I feel like it's really connected. And I just want to share that, just a reminder that, again, when you do show up for the very first time, it is the point is to get people to be curious about what it is that you do. It's building curiosity, firstly. So I want to encourage you, first impressions last. Its first impression is important. That is so important, I think, for me, whether it be online presence, whether it be in person when you show up, and according to what you're wearing and how you present yourself professionally, because this opens up an opportunity for more conversations, right? So just letting you know, and I guess like a reminder that it is, again, holistic, and we need to look at it in all different perspectives, all different aspects of personal brand. I hope that's making sense to you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Okay, so the don'ts of personal branding. Some things I just wanted to pop on here. Don't be inconsistent. Obviously, we want to be consistent. So avoid sending mixed messages or presenting different personas across various platforms. So even for me, I'm a very multi-passionate person. I have a lot of multiple projects. I love to get my things. I love to try new things. And so I could sometimes fall into this where I can sometimes be inconsistent in, doing one thing and then doing another thing. But hey, let me say I'm getting better and better and better at this, at staying consistent in my messaging. But I want to just share that with you, that it's okay if you're like that. It's okay that if you are multi-passionate and a multi-talented person. There's a lot of clients that I'm working with that are like that, but they can still be consistent, and they learn to stick with it, with that branding. And then once they've established it and once they've settled with that, then later on they can pick one thing that they like and then tweak it, right, and add on to it little by little by little. So start with one first. I'll just say, if you are multi-passionate, I want to encourage you to start with one thing, that you really want to focus on, that UVP, unique value proposition that you have. Stick with that one. If it's a book thing, stick with that. If it's a podcast thing, stick with that. If it's being an author, stick with that, right? But then later on, once you've established that, you can move on to other things and build on it. Okay, so that's one of the don'ts. Don't be inconsistent. Be multi-passionate for sure. Be multi-skilled, multi-creative. Do all the multi stuff. But for this part, be consistent. All right. The second is, don't copy others. While it's okay to be inspired by others, copying someone else's brand can damage your credibility and authenticity. So you can be inspired, it's fine. Like, there are some things that you find maybe it's attractive to you, when you look at these brands out there on social media. You're like, oh wow, that really speaks to me, I resonate with that so well. You're really attracted to that. That's fine. But try to create something that is of yours. It's your add your flavor to it, add your personality to it. And of course, you can take little bits of things that you like from that brand. And I know, for me, I've always loved this color, like the pinks and the things. And it's actually, you can't help it sometimes, because when you do look online, there are people who are using similar things. But that's okay, so long as you have your unique thing. Okay, always add something that's more personal and more unique to you, and that it's uncopyable, right? The third one is, don't neglect your online presence. Regularly update your profiles and stay active on social media to maintain visibility. Again, this is part of being consistent in showing up. And you don't want to neglect that. There's a lot of, I'm sure, different platforms that you have to manage these days, but keep consistent. At least one post a day on each will be amazing. And this is maintaining your visibility, because out of sight, out of mind. If people are not seeing you, they don't know. All right, they don't know what you offer, they don't know what you're doing if you're not showing up in these platforms. So make sure you do. Fourth one, don't be afraid to show vulnerability. As I said, I shared, behind the scenes, and here it says, sharing challenges and how you overcame them can make your brand more relatable and human. And that's the thing, it's building that connection again. Like, the key thing here when we share vulnerability, things we're going through, is people can relate. And they feel like, oh, me too, I'm not alone in that, and I know that she hears me, she's gone through it, and so I know I want to work with her, right? It builds that connection with others. All right, so I hope that's helped. That was quite a lot, and I know that in those different parts that I've just shared here, there's so much to unpack, right? But I tried to squeeze it all in here for you. These are just the main ones to remember. And I feel like if you go through each of those points that I just shared, you will have a very strong personal brand. So I want to encourage you to own your unique brand. Once you've created it, it is yours. No one else has it, and that is your power. That is exciting. And people that are meant to work with you will work with you. So I just want to encourage you with this. Remember, there is no one else in the world exactly like you. Your experiences, skills, and passions are uniquely yours. By confidently showcasing who you are and what you stand for, you not only honor your individuality, but also inspire others to do the same. Let your light shine brightly, for it is in your authenticity and uniqueness that you will find your greatest strength and influence. Believe in the value you bring, and let your personal brand be a testament to the incredible person you are. So I hope that's encouraged you. It's time to create your personal brand. Look, perhaps you've been in business for years and you've probably feel like, oh, wow, I've created something here, but it's time to refine that. I would encourage you to start refining your personal brand. There's always something to improve. And yeah, the more that you refine it, the better. And the more opportunities will come your way, more clients will come your way, because you will then attract your dream clients. You will then attract the right clients for you when you're sending out the right message through personal branding. So I hope that's helped, guys. So excited to hear from you. Please message me or email me. Anywhere, anytime, info@fidelizcruz.com. Would love to hear from you and what you got out of this training today. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.